BitShares is a world-class blockchain like Bitcoin with a digital currency platform boasting enterprise-level scalability and throughput with separations of power and self-governance baked in. Need the power of a blockchain with the stability of a dollar? We invented it and tested it for 3 years. Want to make a loyalty token, coupon, or shares in your business? We have you covered. Wish to add world-class development? This tech can fund your work. Whether for an everyday entrepreneur or computer-savvy code guru, BitShares provides tools to empower a world of unapologetic innovators to wield and share value with a level of freedom once thought impossible. Meet a community of such innovators every Friday at 2 p.m. UTC, led by Chris Herring and Fuzzy, to play a role in the evolution and advancement of this state-of-the-art project. Welcome to the BitShares revolution. You just leveled up.
Hello everybody, welcome to the next show of the BitShares Hangout. This is now episode number 9. I mean, this is amazing. We are getting more and more shows for the new episode of the BitShares. My name is Christoph Herring, and as community member, I'm hosting this show for every Friday, 2 p.m. UTC. Always coming here on the Mumbles and also on the Beyond Bitcoin radio show. Last time I have to be sorry, last week was very busy. It was at different conferences, so I couldn't attend, but I want to thank my co-organizer Fuzzy, who just jumped in from the Philippines. Actually, he was also traveling to host this show and to move it forward, and I'm very excited that everybody is here because we have some exciting news, a couple of good topics we really want to talk about, and we are really moving forward, so I'm excited to go for the next topics. For this week, I want to introduce a new feature. Maybe some of you guys don't really know that yet. But the BitShares blockchain is a blockchain not really like anything else. It's quite unique. And I think one of the most unique parts of the BitShares blockchain is the types of digital assets, the types of tokens or coins that you can create with a couple of clicks on the blockchain. I mean, like if you look at other chains, it really is a lot of work to get your own coin going. On the BitShares blockchain, you have really a simple click and drag interface almost, where you just have account and you can get started. When you're looking into it, what kind of assets you can create, there are actually 6 different types. If you have a regular blockchain, you have just one type, and that is like an app coin, or for the blockchain, a blockchain coin. But on I would call second generation or even third generation blockchains like BitShares, you have tons of different assets you can create. Let's go through them a little bit so that you have an idea what we're actually talking about. The most common known asset on the BitShares blockchain is a user-issued asset. We call it UIA. This is basically used for loyalty tokens or food stamps, or if you want to reward somebody like the Wang coins. I think we have some special coins here as well. The second asset you can create, or asset class, is market-packed assets. We call them smart coins as well, and these are price stable digital assets, so they are packed to fiat currencies, financial instruments, to fonds, structures, stocks, whatever you want. You can connect them basically with everything, and to create them you have to pay down a certain amount for collateral, and then a smart contract enforced by the BitShares blockchain will make sure that you have a very close one-to-one pack, and this is pretty unique. It's almost full money on the blockchain, so this is a really awesome feature that gives you fiat currencies on a blockchain. Really cool. The third asset class we have are exchange-backed asset. You'll probably already know that if you are sending money to Poloniex or Bittrex or Bitstamp or any other big exchange, when you exchange USD to Bitcoin, the Bitcoin that you have in your exchange are not real Bitcoin in the per se. They are just an entry in a ledger internally on the exchange. The exchange actually is your issuer of that virtual Bitcoin. So this is a regular exchange. On the BitShares decentralized exchange, you hold the Bitcoin or the BitShares or any kind of other token in your hands. And you have the total control, but it can be still issued by OpenLedger or by any other exchange because it's issued by the exchange. The next asset we have are privatized bit assets. I have to look it up actually what that is. The privatized bit assets, a flexible mixture between UA and MPA that allows third parties to create their own customized MPAs. So that means you could create a user issued asset. You don't have to short coins into existence. You can do basically an instant mine or just, create new tokens, but you could customize the URA that it works like an MPA, so that it's linked to a digital, it's linked to a financial instrument, like to a fiat currency or to a stock. But you, as the issuer of this URA, you have total control, which is, of course, something that when you are a regulated entity, if you're a regulated business, that's actually really, really cool, because that means you could basically issue e-money, e-euro in a certain way, regulated. You have total control, but it's one-to-one packed. So you don't have to do that in the background all the time. The next one we are talking about is number 5, fee-backed asset. This is a unique token that was introduced with the Stealth token on the blockchain. This allows you a smart contract again. You only can create this token through a hard fork, so there are not really that many on the chain, and that allows automatically, if there's a fee generated, for example, for a Stealth transaction, that fee will be paid out automatically through the blockchain to everybody who holds basically the feedback asset token. In this way, Stealth. Stealth will also work in this way. So when you do a Stealth transaction that we are working on at BitShares Munich, the fees that are generated through that transaction type are collected and then paid out to everybody who holds Stealth tokens. And the last one, last but not least, 6th type is prediction market assets. That's also not that well known yet. You can create prediction market assets on the BitShares blockchain. So if you want to make a bet, and you want to say, I don't know, if Donald Trump is going to make it until the 4 years are over, you can bet against or for it, and at the end, the blockchain will gonna pay out for the winners. So these are the 6 different types you can create, and you can create a lot of different business models with them. It really depends where you want it, what you need, and I see there's a lot of good opportunities to create these tokens for different business types, and I think it's quite amazing to have them all on one blockchain, all on the same. You can put them all in your own account, secure them, and so on. It's quite amazing and advanced. And for all of them, the transaction fees are cheap. You have all the blockchain benefits of security, privacy, total control. So this is really an amazing bunch of features and tokens you can create. And I think almost other chains really have problems to get that off, or they need to write a white paper on 2 years of development to get the same what we have today. So this is pretty cool. This was the feature for today. Do we have any questions for the 6 different types?
Nice job there. Given that you decided to do this topic about 5 minutes ago, that's not a bad ad lib.
Yeah, that was really great. I kind of missed what the name of the 4th one was, the customized MPA/UIA hybrid.
It is called Privatized Bit Asset. Posted a link here. If you go to the BitShares documentation, doc.bitshares.org/bitshares.user.assets, you will find it. I found it a while ago, and I was very fascinated about all the different tokens that you can create. And I think I'm going to release an article about that pretty soon, like a beginner type article for everybody, so that they can really read into that. It's like, wow, I can really build this. The next step I would like to get started with, we can celebrate again. We have a Gui Interface update thanks to SVK. Thank you very much for this one. I'm not sure yet what we have updated new, but I think there are going to be some grid lines and further cleanups of the wallet itself. So that's going to be cool. Can anybody give some more feedback? What is new? Okay, seems to be so brand new, nobody knows. No problem. Then let's move on to the next one. I was looking into my calendar, and I was planning to have or hold the liquidity event next weekend, next Friday. But since we didn't had so much feedback on the forum yet, I think we have to move the liquidity festival from next week because I don't have time to really structure the whole thing. However, I think it's still going to be a good way, a good thing, a good topic to think about how can we increase liquidity? How can we make it like a little nice contest on the BitShares stacks where we select 5 markets and we say this is where we really want to go, and these are the conditions. Maybe we can do a part of that already today. What kind of markets should we really focus on? What do you think? I think we can start basically with the USD markets.
Yeah, I'd definitely say BitUSD. I think it'd be nice if it makes sense. I keep saying in the forums to concentrate liquidity into BitUSD, and I think that is really important. That's how you get liquidity. You get everybody using one token, and then if you look at Poloniex, someone like that, they started with just trading with Bitcoin against other assets, and then as their volumes got huge, then they can add other trade pairs. So if we are going to choose 5 trade pairs for a liquidity contest or whatever, I think they should all be against BitUSD. And if it's not BitUSD, something else, but they should all be against that something else.
So do you suggest BitUSD against BitShares or everything against BitUSD?
Yeah, everything against BitUSD. But it's the same market. You can say whichever way you say it around, whether it's USD against BTS or BTS against BitUSD, it's the same.
Yeah, but we could say also BitUSD against Bitcoin, against CNY, etc.
Yeah, that's what I'd have. I'd have those 5. Everything, the 5 assets against the 5 largest assets against BitUSD, basically.
What are the 5 biggest assets right now? Does somebody has a list? You mentioned USD, CNY, and BTC.
I mean, it depends how you define the biggest. You can say the most important as well. So obviously BTS is most important, and BitCNY is important. I'd say Open.BTC is very important, and then I personally think Open.USDT is very important for getting that liquidity into BitUSD.
What was the last one? So according to Gchicken, we have a list here of the top 8. Number 1 is CNY. Then we have OpenBTC. Just a little short recap. So the first one, CNY, is a BitCNY, a market-backed assets, and on the second position we have an exchange-backed asset called OpenBTC. So in this way, the issuer is OpenLedger as an exchange, and they promise that they have the same amount of Bitcoin in their wallets as they are issuing on OpenBTC on the markets. So this is very important if you get started or if you're new to BitShares, that you have native tokens like BitCNY that are covered by BitShares in a collateral or paid in collateral, and then you have on the other end you have asset exchange issued tokens that are backed by the exchange itself. Then we also have cadastrials coming up, but I think this is more a stock. It's not so bug. Then we have block pay tokens, could be an option. Then we have USD, Brownie PTS. Who's trading brownies?
The thing is, you could fake the volume. Any of that volume could be kind of, well, not faked, but like just back and throw between one person who owns a lot of the stock.
No, it's good. I think it's great that brownie points are coming back. So I think we should focus just for the beginning on USD, CNY, and BTC, OpenBTC to be more precise, and then that could be a good start for the contest itself. Okay. Last week, Fuzzy mentioned that very shortly. I would like to pick it up for this week again, because I think it's one of the most important topics we all have to talk about in the BitShares community, and that is the topic of the worker proposals. We have right now a couple of good workers in. We have the core developers. We have the Python script coming up. We have now a front-end developer, which is very good. We have a little bit of marketing. And then we still have to think about overall, we have a budget of $20,000 per month that we could invest. And I think this is a good amount where we can do a lot of good things if we structure it correctly and if we all can agree on how to move that money into the right directions. I'm looking now, I've thought about what we can do, the best way, I think, in a certain way is always to have a team manager who's managing 2, 3, 4, 5 people and is really pushing them every day so that we getting results and not only wasting money in a way. And I'm wondering, how can we set up this team and manage all those people? Do we have right now any volunteers who think like, okay, I can take that on in a certain way? You will get paid for this position, so it's not a free position, but we really need somebody who's interested to take that lead and to kick ass.
We don't have anyone that's readily available. I would recommend maybe we should put it out there just like any other job on the freelance boards and see if we can garner up some interest from people, particularly project managers, to find somebody who is interested in actually working with the community on this element.
Isn't there like a Bitcoin job site where we can pay with Bitcoin?
Yeah, there is, but the pickings from that would be relatively small, I think. If we want to get a good cross-section of talent, I would suggest something like Upwork or other boards that have a much larger reach. Of course, we can include in the description that they will be paid in BTS. That would certainly help qualify whoever does contact us.
Or it would scare them away because it's like a little bit too confusing. What is BitShares at the beginning, and why do I get paid in that? Well, let's think about it a little bit. So let's assume we can set up the team. I can also talk with my colleague Rodrigo to set it all up. And then we can really push that forward. But then the big question is going to be still, what kind of people do we need right now to push BitShares forward and to make it a more active platform?
We have like SVK, and we've got different core developers, and then BitCrab's doing some advertising. So I mean, as it is at the moment, we've got these different people working on different aspects of BitShares. And it's decentralized as it is. I don't see why do we need to centralize it to one person managing a team.
Well, I think in my opinion, we could move faster and we can have a better coordination, especially in the marketing part, because what I just saw, in the last 2 weeks when I was talking with a lot of different financial institutions, credit card acquirers, money transfer operators, and so on, is it's shocking, to be honest, to see that all of these big players, they are experimenting with blockchains, and they are just saying like, well, who are the biggest or most successful blockchain technologies? They look at Ethereum and they look at Bitcoin, and then you have all these consultants running around, and they just say like, if you want to do a blockchain, you just take Ethereum for smart contracts, or you take Bitcoin, and then they test 6 months, and then what I see right now, that a lot of these companies are getting frustrated and give up because they cannot scale the technology. And then they are bitching around that they can just do 7 to 8 or 9 transactions per second. And of course, that doesn't scale. So what I see here is there's a clear demand for a faster scaling blockchain. And I was saying that on stage on the Merchant Payment Ecosystem Conference in Berlin last week. I was on stage and was saying, guys, you know what? If you do these big experiments and you are frustrated because your blockchain solution doesn't scale, you just simply look into the wrong technologies. You're looking into the wrong direction. And I think we have huge potential to talk to those people and show them the technologies and the tools that we have with BitShares. And I think if we set up a team that is just dedicated for promoting that and getting up all the sales material and creating a really nice onboarding process where people can get information about what BitShares really can do, I think it can be very beneficial. And this is something that where you really need a team to structure that. So that's why I would like to have a more coordinated team than just a couple of freelancers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get the shareholder approval to do a large worker proposal to pay out all the members of the team, or are you suggesting each worker in a team does a proposal of their own? Because if you've got one large worker proposal, then what's the limit on how much you can do as a single worker proposal?
Well, what I could imagine is, and I think that topic came up the last couple of weeks again and again, that what if you would basically say like we have an escrow in front of the worker, it's just an idea right now, to say like basically you have somebody who's creating the worker, and then the money is going to be paid out, and then this escrow partner, it could be a multi-signature or something, is basically checking the work, and if the work is not good, then the escrow partner could basically refund the money in a certain way.
Are you guys talking about?
Well, I think when you are applying for the blockchain, you have to guarantee, or you have to show that you will keep the voters updated and so on. I think we are still working on the standard, right? We want to have a very good standard how to create a good worker that's going to be successfully voted in. And this is elementary. If you really want to get money from the blockchain, you should follow these standards, because this is the best way.
I personally would rather see each job that needs to be done as a separate worker proposal. So if it's a marketing job that needs doing, that should be one worker proposal. If it's Bitcoin core development, that's another worker proposal. GUI work, another proposal, and then that way shareholders can choose exactly what they want to fund, and if they think something's not worth funding, if they think it's a waste of money, they don't have to choose it. But if you bundle it all into one large worker proposal, you might get dragged along into paying for some advertising you don't want to, or something similar.
So basically, just say like we rather have per person a worker, and if that person is not performing, then you can basically downvote or remove the vote, and in this way you have a clear signal that this person of the team is not performing as the rest.
Well, yeah, it's not necessarily just about performance. Like you might think, some people might think advertising is a waste of money, and they might not want to spend money on that, whether they are good or not.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering how can we motivate, or how can we inspire more people to build material, to create content around BitShares? Because if I look out there, there are so many cool tools to really build cool tutorials or good info material about BitShares, and it's not really that much work if you think about it. And you can do so many good things, but somehow it's not really happening, and I'm wondering why that is. I'm really looking forward to find a good answer for that, because think about it. If you want to do I need, for example, to give you an example, I need to explain 1 hour I need 1 hour to explain the BitShares platform and all of its features to a bank. So I thought about it. Maybe I should, next time when I do that, I should just record it and put it on YouTube so that everybody gets a full insight. What are all the different features and how you create your assets and everything? Because I think that is very valuable. And I'm surprised if it just takes 1 hour to explain BitShares with all the details, to do a real, why nobody else was just doing that from himself on the weekend when he has a little bit of free time. He's just sitting there and say, okay, let me do that, because it's cool, it's fun to do. It's easy. You just share your screen, you talk about it, and then you do it. You don't really have to produce a lot. So I'm always curious. Maybe we have some group intelligence here to say, how can we really motivate people to get started? How can we attract more people on the BitShares blockchain to do that?
Yeah, I've done a few videos where I screencast and explain how to create BitUSD, and I do that occasionally just for fun and because I'm into it. I know Chris Coney was making some tutorials on how to use OpenLedger. I don't know how much traction you got with that. And then obviously we've got Kronos Kronos, yeah,
Kronos
videos with a paid worker. So people are doing it. Maybe they're not doing it often enough or well enough, but there are videos out there but the issue with BitShares is it is so complicated. It can do so many things that is its blessing as well, but it's hard to sell to someone in banking or something who, when you tell them about Ethereum or you tell them about MaidSafe or something like that, you can tell them in one sentence what it does. With BitShares does so much stuff, it's really hard to kind of condense that into a little concise soundbite.
Well, in my opinion, BitShares is a financial transaction platform. It's a blockchain that is built just to perform on financial transactions, not like a smart contract blockchain where you can build anything and you need to build every feature again and again. BitShares has all the features you need, because in a certain way it's a banking backend software. It's a banking OS.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's exactly what it is. It specializes in financial transactions, but there's a lot of stuff it can do. I mean, look at Argo, or whatever it's called. All it focuses on is doing prediction markets. Now, we can do prediction markets and have been able to for over a year, but because that's just one string to our bow, I don't know, it's as if we've got so much to offer. It's hard for people who are new in the space to kind of grasp exactly what we do.
Well, Fox, you bring up a good point. So he's saying consensus is the model, an organization working to promote their products using Ethereum. Actually, I was wondering, I was talking with a couple of Ethereum guys, and they had a couple of products, and I was coming across the idea that you have all these platforms, right, where you have an app coin, and they are thinking about, okay, how can I use my app coin within my product, and they always assume that the consumer, for example, if you have a decentralized Uber, that the consumer is buying the app coin, then he's spending the app coin on something, and then the person who produced or provided the service is getting the app coin, and everybody's happy. But I'm always wondering, because if the app coin is very volatile, nobody really is interested to buy this app coin. If you think about it, if you think about a mainstream consumer, the mainstream consumer, he wants to have a coin that is price stable. He wants to just basically use some money in a certain way, and he doesn't really want to worry about the volatility or the whole payment process itself. So I'm wondering, is that how will that scale? Because then I have to buy a coin for every platform, for every service I need to use, and I have to have always a volatility. Wouldn't it be more interesting to have like one common payment rail that is accessible by every application that is on the market, and you have price stable currencies built within, and I can use it on the Uber, and I can use it in the Airbnb, and all the other stuff? I think that is way more appealing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think people can think in dollars, or they can think in their local currency. So when you think about getting an Uber, you estimate in your head how much it's going to cost to get where. And if you had some special decentralized Uber coin, it would never make any sense, and the price would be all over the place. The same goes for the dark markets, buy drugs or whatever, Bitcoin or Monero or something like that. But if you're just a person who's into drugs but not into cryptocurrency, you'd be much better off using BitUSD because you could, manage your purchases and sales and do your accounting well. But when you've got an asset that's all over the place, you can't really do that. Obviously, the only issue with BitShares is it's not anonymous, but coming soon, I think.
Well, is that really an issue? Is it? That's a question. Because you can create pseudonymity again for different applications. If you are a company, you can say like, I don't want to have the naming system. I want to have a domain system in a certain way, and I'm just going to register the user with a very cryptic name, but I have the translator, and then the user have his regular name. Actually, I was also wondering, so today, sorry guys, but it's a lot about wondering. I'm just catching up with all the conferences. I was talking with a lot of the Bitcoiners in Berlin, and they surprisingly they were really upset because the fees are so high and Bitcoin is so slow. But one of the big arguments they brought up about volatility is that if for the moment the Bitcoin is getting so high in value that people are going to start using it for small transactions because the volatility is not going to be so strong anymore. Do you agree with that statement, to say like, okay, if the Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is 10,000, the volatility is not really a big issue anymore?
But volatility is an issue, and it has been, although the price has been going up, that's great for people who hold it, but for people who are trying to trade stuff in the real world, you need a stable currency to keep track of stuff. Just because it's going up doesn't mean it's not volatile. Just because it's really high, it doesn't mean it's not volatile anymore.
Well, just because you have a very tiny fraction, you have a millibit, so it will not really move up or down.
Well, yeah, it will. It's gone up 30% in the last couple of weeks. So whatever fraction you had, that fraction will have gone up 30% in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, all right. I think it was, anyways, a weird argument. But I think this is a problem, big problem with Bitcoin, because the incentive structure is totally wrong in that way. Because if you think about Bitcoin is not really usable for everyday money transfer, for for small transactions for coffee and stuff. So I'm really curious how we can solve that problem, and how price stable digital coins, I think in my point of view, is going to be one of the best solutions, really, to give people a digital currency into their hands that allows them to have all the benefits of a blockchain, but be price stable and be familiar with a currency and the value that they already know of.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. There's another topic that came up. Maybe we can think about that a little bit more. You have some ideas. I was talking with a couple of banks, and they were wondering about the collateral that we have to put. So to create a smart coin, to create a market-backed asset, you basically have to do a down payment of collateral, 200% of the amount that you want to get back. So if you want to create a new token called BitUSD, you have to put in 200% at least in the value in an escrow account. But usually if you are a bank, this deposit, you can use it to trade or to make money or to give it away, to lend or whatever. In the BitShares platform, it's a little bit different. You're really locking away the money, and then it's like just sitting in a big vault. I was thinking about it. The bankers were wondering if there's any kind of interest on the collateral. What do you guys think? What kind of structure could we basically develop, or would it be would it make sense to create a structure where we are paying dividends for that collateral? So what do you mean virtual growth? Virtual growth is writing that he is no interest in big capital. Can you go a little bit further here? So interest destroys economics systems after 30-year cycles because it's just bubbling up.
I think maybe what you might be getting at is lots of people hate the banks because they use fractional reserve lending. So BitShares works in the same way as banks, but instead of doing fractional reserve accounts, we do over-collateralized accounts. So there's 200% backing it. And when you've got 200% backing your bit dollars, it's not being used for anything else. So you don't have to worry about it because it's actually locked away. If you start saying to with using collateral for other stuff other than just being locked away, then maybe that's the issue.
Well, the big thing is, if you think about moving a little bit further, let's say I have $10 million in BitShares sitting in collateral. They're just sitting there. There's nothing happening with them. What kind of effect will it have over the long term? If you really look forward, I mean, yes, we're going to have full money because a BitUSD is in a certain way full money. And I always know that I can get the value out. I can get at least 99% of it. I can get back, and then I can sell it, and then I'm out again. But what is going to happen with all the collateral? Do we just say okay, we just leave it there? It's just we just leave it in the vault, or do we have any way to say okay, you get a little bit of an interest for that, do we say okay, the interest you get is because you're selling PA for premium, and this is where you get your interest?
You get leverage, and you need those to be locked up because they are your security.
Yeah, of course. For marketing reasons, you can say, "Wow, we got always 100% of all the money that you hold. You can always get it back."
But if we start using collateral for other stuff, locked away collateral, then we're no better than the banks themselves. We're just doing what they do, which is they say they've got all your money, but in actual fact, they've distributed it, bought different stuff with it. They can't get it back on demand, and it's not as transparent.
Yeah, I think it would be bad to basically use it in a fractional reserve way. I was just wondering if it would make sense to basically add an interest for the collateral. I mean, of course, the best way it has to stay in that escrow account. Yeah, we cannot take it out and use it for something else. But maybe we can think about incentives to say yes, I want to borrow more, I want to create more, put more money into the escrow, and I feel good with that.
The escrow is in BitShares, and as the value of the BitShares platform goes up, the price of BitShares goes up. So they have that incentive.
Basically just locking it away, correct?
No, their incentive is that they are leveraged with the BitShares price. So instead of just holding 1 million BitShares, they've gone and created some BitUSD and bought more BitShares, so they actually have a leveraged position with BitShares.
Well, even if they don't buy more BitUSD, whatever they do, the BitShares price is impacted positively by more value to the blockchain, more things it can do. more liquidity in the bit assets. So eventually it should mean the BitShares price is going up. So it's has possible speculative gains, does it not?
But it actually
I mean, maybe you can argue that to encourage the creation of BitUSD and give even more incentive to people who create BitUSD. That if you have created BitUSD and have collateralized positions, then maybe you could receive some kind of payment as a extra plus. But as has been mentioned in the forums, I think that there's no way to prove that although someone has created BitUSD, how do you know that they're actually sold it and they're short?
Maybe I don't understand. I don't think I'm being clear. I'm saying just the way the system is now, without doing anything unique or extra, the whole BitShares ecosystem value, is more valuable. More people use it, the more bit assets are created. So the underlying collateral is in BitShares, correct? And as the price of BitShares goes up, the value of that collateral goes up.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's good. I mean, the thing is with BitShares, because the price has just been going down. Well, in relation to Bitcoin, it has been going down. That has probably made people who want to create BitUSD more nervous. But if we were in a bull market and BitShares price was on a steady upward trend, lots of people would want to leverage their BitShares position, and then you'd have more people creating BitUSD than we do at the moment. It's just that there's been going or staying level for so long that that's also a worry for people who want to create it.
Well, I think in the long-term perspective, for BitShares itself, because I was thinking about that a lot, and I'm trying to figure out to create a couple of more papers or do graphics about that. The most important challenge we all have is when we are going to create more bit assets, so more market-packed assets and so on, and we are blowing up the market. We're creating a big volume inside. At the same time, our main focus will be over the next couple of months to create value all around the BitShares blockchain, all around the ecosystem of BitShares, because I was thinking really a lot about the topic of, can you imagine that the Bitcoin price will go down to $1 again? Is that possible? And if yes, why?
All it takes to keep Bitcoin price at above $1 is someone who's just $21 million worth of bids. That's it. And that's unlikely to happen. So it's always going to be above $1 now. The Bitcoin price, if that's what you're referring to.
And why is that?
Well, there's only 21 million Bitcoins. So if you do 21 million, if you have $21 million, you can prevent the Bitcoin price from going down. That's
okay, I get you. No, I actually have a different, better solution, but that's true. No, I think the better solution really is, think about it like this. Bitcoin is providing an ecosystem. It's providing a lot of different products and services and things that people value. And because the people are valuing that, they're always going to be willing to spend money to get that service or that product. And because the Bitcoin ecosystem is so big already, this is the reason why always people are going to say like, wow, and now through Bitcoin, I'm able to send money from America to the Philippines or to Mexico or wherever. And this is something that I really personally value. And that's why I want to invest, 200, 400, 500 euros to get that value. And that is basically the secret sauce, that you have to create this ecosystem around your platform that makes it so valuable that people always want to invest money, always want to spend their money to get this service. And this is something that we all have to build now for the BitShares blockchain, to create so much value as possible, to create so many services, so many products that are used within the BitShares ecosystem that the people basically don't want to leave. And this is a little bit the outlook where this is my vision for the BitShares platform, to build this ecosystem around it. And we have a lot of good news coming up the next couple of weeks about that. What we want to do with the BitShares blockchain, where we want to lead it, where we want to build new products, new services all around BitShares, and where we want to really create this vibrant ecosystem where you have a fundamental payment rail at the bottom. And then on top, you have a lot of different products and services that are just using this fundamental payment rail through APIs. And I think we're going to have a very good potential now, especially since Bitcoin has so many problems. And also the other currencies are struggling in a certain way, that we now can put BitShares into a new perspective for everybody, and that we can really create a fantastic ecosystem. And I'm very excited to be part of that. And I'm also looking forward for everybody else for your feedback, for your ideas. Just before we are ending this week's show, a couple of more things. I think Sirok was just sharing a link a couple of minutes ago about a testnet picture. It was a screenshot. How much did we actually reach already? This is a pretty cool picture. So there's on the testnet, Sirok was firing up flooding script, and I think in some parts we overreached a couple of thousands of transactions per second, just with a very small amount of nodes and of creators. So this is pretty cool. The second thing I want to mention, I think, because not everybody's going to the forum all the time. There happened a cloud leak. I think there was a big hack for a security service called Cloudflare that is protecting a lot of websites. So if you have a Kraken or Poloniex or bigger account, also the BitShares Talk account, please guys, update your passwords, get it done, do it now, and be safe that you don't lose your digital currencies. That would be really pity with that hack. Zerg is just writing that they were making around 5,000 transactions per second. So this is really a lot of transactions that we can do on the testnet already. And I think we're going to soon have the big coordinated task where we're going to have a lot of people who are producing a lot of blocks, a lot of transactions, and that's going to be... Oh, sorry, Cirque is saying it is transactions per block. Sorry, guys. So it's 1,666 transactions per second. Wow, that is still really, really impressive. To have so many transactions just in the testnet. Well, we are looking now, if you want to get part of that testing and that revolution, please reach out to us on the Telegram channels, get your information, get the timing, when we're going to start the global testnet, where we're going to have all the different floodings and so on. And we're going to have a lot of fun trying to beat out the crap of the Graphene blockchain, of the BitShares blockchain, to really see how many transactions we can really do. And I think that's going to be a really, really cool stress test. And if you have time, please get coordinated. We don't have the time yet, but I hope we're going to have one soon.
We have one. Let me see what the link is.
All right.
I
have
think
a
it's
date.
15th of March at 3 p.m. UTC.
All right.
There's a link somewhere in the forums.
Oh, that probably missed that. So 15th of March. This is going to be a Wednesday in 4 weeks. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. I'm going to be in Amsterdam that time. We're going to be on a conference about retail banking. Maybe we should do a live stream. I should show all these bankers. They all talk about retail banking, what real throughput and power means. Is there like a channel or video or something I can just, put it there and get like a beamer, a little projector, and just put it on the wall over the conference? Hijack basically everything. Okay, so 15th of March, 3 p.m. UTC. That's a Wednesday. We're going to have the stress test. Sir, can you tell a little bit more about the framework of the stress test?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Framework, yeah. Basically, it's just fire up your Clear wallets or Uptick and throw anything you want into the test network. There's no real framework around it. Just produce some transactions. Once they are in the blockchain, we can later go over the actual throughput whenever we want, because the blockchain is permanent. I want to set up a separate fat machine, server machine, to log the memory usage and data throughput on the wire, but that hasn't happened yet. But I hope to be able to get a separate machine on it sooner than later.
All right, I think that sounds very good. I think that is a topic we're definitely going to talk next week about it. Next Friday, 2 p.m. UTC, we're going to meet here again at the Beyond Bitcoin radio show and the BitShares Mumbles. We're going to have more information about the testnet. I'm really looking forward to get more details, how to join, how to get the scripts to flood the markets, what kind of server I need, and all that stuff. It would be great, guys, if you could prepare these information for next week, and then we can talk about all of those. And I hope to have a lot of people participating. And I'm really thinking about maybe we should set up a live stream, YouTube live stream, whatever, and gonna take a little projector and put it on the wall during the conference so that everybody can see what a real blockchain can do.